Again, he's never been to a war zone unless you count his state during the George Floyd riots. In reality, when his unit got called for deployment to Iraq after he'd been appointed to acting senior enlisted leader, he bailed to run for Congress. But now even CNN is calling him out.
Waltz did make a comment, speaking to a group, he's done it a couple of times, where he has used language that has suggested that he carried weapons in a fighting situation. There is a difference between being in a combat area, being involved at a time of war, and actually being in a position where people are shooting at you. There is no evidence that at any time Governor Waltz was in a position of being shot at, and some of his language could easily be seen to suggest that he was. So that is absolutely false.
Holy that's CNN. I know. Wow. Who did Waltz piss off? Did he steal one of Jake Tapper's copies of Jugs magazine?
I remember those.
Meanwhile, listen to Minnesota Senator Tina Smith comparing Waltz to J.D. Vance.
Well, here is Tim Walz, who enlisted when he was 17 years old. He served in the National Guard for 24 years, and I'm not aware of any military service that J.D. Vance has ever served. So let's just make the comparison there.
Let's not, Tina. First, you're leaving out the main point. No one is accusing Vance of lying. And it's kind of hard to believe you're not aware of any military service Vance served. What else are you not aware of? That you stole John Denver's haircut? Ooh, crazy. Fact is, lies like this got Brian Williams demoted, and the closest he came to combat was being near Matt Lauer's office. But apparently the new tactic here is to muddy the waters, right, Nance?
J.D. Vance has criticized him as never having been in combat. And,
has he? Has he?
Well,
has J.D. Vance been in combat?
Well, I think he was over in Iraq, I think.
I think. Wow, these are some journalists. Now, Nance, J.D. never said he was in combat, unlike Waltz, which you would have clearly heard if your last facelift hadn't blocked your ears. The oddest take, though, comes from Mayor Pete, who wrote, quote, "Denigrating a soldier's service based on whether he deployed to a war zone is kind of like denigrating a woman's citizenship based on whether she happens to have children." So I guess 2 months of paternity leave makes him an expert on childbirth. This is the worst analogy ever. A non-deployed soldier is like a childless woman. Maybe if the childless woman tells people she has kids to get benefits. Boom. Mayor Pete manages to derail trains and conversations. So it seems the Dems only fight when it's political. Then they circle the wagons. The problem is what they're defending for many Americans is indefensible. You can lie about stolen valor, but you can't make veterans forget about it. Let's look at tonight's